Merry Christmas, happy holidays, you beautiful people. I'm sorry that I introed with that awful singing voice, but welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. It's Keltie, virtually beside savvywrightvideos. How you doing this festive
I'm
time of year?
doing great. And I'm not gonna lie, that was a little rough of an intro. We did not
Mm-hmm.
plan that, but I
No,
loved it.
I
It really
improvised.
gets you in the holiday spirit. I have been singing a lot of holiday songs. My mom came to visit me, and there's something about my mom and I that I didn't notice was I can't sing the lyrics to save my life. That was my first hot take. Actually, I didn't mean to go into that, but
Just raw dog it straight in. I like it.
raw dog. We're raw dogging it is that lyrics are suggestions. That's all I think. And that you can make them up whatever you want. And I realize my mom's the same way because we both will sing the wrong lyrics. And Michael's like, I now understand you and where you got this from. It's from your mom. And I'm like, absolutely.
Nice. I have childhood trauma about that. Not
What do
to
you mean?
exaggerate. My mom was the exact same way, but she would sing me all these nursery rhymes, all these songs, but like well-known songs. Think like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But she'd be like, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I wonder how you look afar. Like she did not know any of these lyrics, but then she somehow like convinced herself those are right. So I grew up learning all these nursery rhymes completely wrong. I go to, kindergarten blasting my heart out and like everyone's looking and be like, what? That's not it. I'm like, yeah, it is. My mom sings it to me. And like, no, Keltie, it's not. So
I love that.
I'm very
Also,
adamant about knowing lyrics
throw
now.
way to throw your mom under the bus.
Oh, I call her
I
out about
have
it all the
trauma
time.
because
I
of
do.
her.
She was
That's
the
so
perfect
funny.
mother. So I'm always like, it was trauma. You didn't bring me to Disneyland. Trauma. We all overuse the word now. And that's my trauma.
Always. I'm like, my mom's like, oh, so that's my fault too. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
It's all.
I have this running joke with my best friends from high school that when we were in high school, and we still say it to this day, is we were going to a Casey Musgraves concert,
Mm-hmm.
and she has this Mary, Mary, quite the contrary. I can't even say it.
Nice.
I thought it was Mary, Mary, Quack and Schmary. And we're singing driving to the concert. And I'm like, Mary, Mary, Quack and Schmary. And to this day, as I'm 28, we still quote it. And one of my friends just realized in Taylor Swift's song like Speak Now, she says,
Yeah.
4 or 5 looks. Oh, no. It's horrified looks from everyone in the room, but I'm
Oh, I could
only
see-
looking at you.
I could see
And
how she screws that up.
she was singing 4 or 5 looks. And she's like, yeah, it makes sense. So
I mean, I see
lyrics are
it.
suggestions. Make it what you want. We're all a songwriter.
You know what? Rick Rubin says once you put art into the world, it's no longer yours. It's up for interpretation. So you know what? It's no longer the artist. It is now yours. So rewrite Taylor Swift lyrics, whatever suits your soul.
Who is Rick Rubin?
Just kidding. A lot of people don't know, but like you should, because then you sound cooler.
Ooh.
He's music, Rick Rubin. He's like the producer for everybody. So just name an artist, he's produced for them. So he's kind of the magic behind the music industry. Like so many Ariana Grande to Backstreet Boys to Justin Bieber, to just name. I don't know if he actually did for any of those people, but like I mean, every big from the hip hops in the 90s, I think is when he really started getting big, to now every hip hop pop album has been something to do with Rick Rubin, and it's just like hit.
Keltie goes to music school and she just gets too cool for school and starts naming these people. All I know is Kenny Ortega.
I know. He was on Andrew Huberman also, so that's why I think a lot of people know him now. Like he's like got a podcast, so it's very mainstream. It's not just.
Wait, do you not know who Kenny Ortega is?
I do, but I also don't. Why am I blanking? I know that name.
He's the director of High School Musical.
Oh yes. I was like, iconic. I know I've heard that. I've heard that name. I know.
That's okay. What is your first hot take?
My first hot take is about my neighbors in my apartment building. And they need a reality check. No, they need a reality check. Okay, so I have an app and it's called One Roof, and anyone in your apartment building can join it, and it has like chat, so everyone could like chat or be like, oh, this, like warning this, whatever. Just get to know your neighbors. And we have a fire alarm about once a week. I know it sucks, but that's what happens when you live in an apartment of like 30 floors. And unfortunately, we get a lot of people that go smoke in the stairwell, and we live above a bakery. So one of those two things, there's always a fire alarm going off. And it sucks, especially every blue moon, it's at 4 a.m. But these people act like we're in a refugee camp. Like they're like, this is the worst apartment building ever. There's fire alarms. Like, oh my God, how good, I can't wait to get out of this shithole. It's a brand new, not brand new, but it's like a 3-year-old building. You're living in downtown Vancouver. And like, yeah, we pay a lot. I'm not going to pretend anything's expensive here. But at the same time, if you can afford to live here, you're doing okay. You're not, super rich, but you're doing all right. And it's a modern building. It has its flaws. So like I said, because there's a fire alarm once a week, people act in this chat like we're all just, it's so tough being us. Oh my God, I need to get out, and how dare they? And finally, yesterday, someone commented, and they're like, I just want you guys to know that I work for the city, and I looked up. We're not even in the top 50 of apartment buildings for fire alarms, so you're okay. Because like every day, it's just, you know what I mean? Like every once in a while, people have such comfortable lives that they just need a little like knock on their head that it's not that rough. Because I was sitting here, I'm like, it sucks, but I've lived in Toronto and there was actually a fire alarm every day. Like, this isn't that bad. Once a week, I'm like, I'll take it. So
they need to humble themselves. They need some humble pie.
I know. I was like, you guys got it kind of good. You're in a relatively new building in downtown Vancouver. Yeah, we're not stinking rich. We pay a lot. But like, you got a sick view of the ocean. Count your blessings.
Yeah.
I had to vent about that.
That is so fair. No, vent away. That is... People need reality checks, and we all are guilty. We need. Yeah. Sometimes I will be a freaking grump, and then I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys have to count backwards with your blessings or something of like health and what you do have." And okay, I know, like I hate right now how online people are like trying to cancel influencers for influencing. They're like, we made them too powerful. Their only job is to go to Target, but yet we watch their Target hauls. Like it's so absurd on TikTok if you watch people are like, I just want normal people to influence. And it cracks me up because I will watch those girls that are like, so today I'm so busy. I have to get my nails done. I have to walk the dog. I have to work out, and I have to go to Target. And that's it. And I can't be bothered. And you're like, oh my God, girl, you need some humble pie.
Yes.
We all need humble pie no matter what.
Hot take. Every influencer doesn't have to go to college, but they have to do one retail or service job before they're allowed to be an influencer. Hot take.
Poor K.
You know what? I was like, I've done both. And I was like, that's so like, then forever you're like, oh yeah, it's not that tough. This is pretty sick. Once you work a service job. So that's why I'm like, if you 18-year-olds trying to be influencers, service job first.
Service job. Yeah.
Go work in a bar. Serve ice cream.
We are the age of like, people didn't start influencing till after college. Like Instagram was like not really that much of a thing. No. It was more like Snapchat.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't think I ever saw influencers until like maybe I was 23 or 24, like in the wild, you know, of being like, this is a job. I always thought it was just like a fun hobby or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're totally right. People now just go straight into it. They can get famous when they're a kid. Yeah. And then they just skyrocket, where I'm like, bro, I worked at Starbucks. I worked at Abercrombie. I worked at a school. Yeah. And I worked a corporate job all while balancing this stuff.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every influencer out there is lazy or every content creator.
Oh, no.
A lot work hard. But like, for me, this is the best analogy. Not a Friday or Saturday night goes by that I'm like, I don't have to go to work. I can go home and sleep on a Friday night. I've like spent 5 years of my life pulling all-nighters all weekend to work. And so like forever, I'm like, life's not that tough. You need that. You need a shitty job. There's my hot take. You need a shitty job before you get a good job.
Yeah, I agree. Just to really, sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'll move on. I agree. We can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
But regardless, I still like watching the Target hauls. I'm like, no, who else will do a Target haul?
We're so guilty. We hate on them, but then deep down, I'm like, can you please go Bath and Body Works after? I mean, the general world hates on them.
I freaking love watching people's extra lives when they're different from me. The Kardashians built an empire. Side note, you should watch 100%. House of Kardashians on Peacock, because it's about how they built their empire and how like the sex tape was fake, or not fake, but like leaked. And like there's proof. Ooh, they bring some pudding to that proof in that show. Ooh, but they talk about how consumers like to see this lighthearted, airy life that's so, I mean, the Kardashians are freaking hilarious. They go take their PJ to Usher for 2 hours and fly home. And I'm like, fabulous. It's love it as I'm watching with my popcorn.
Because you love watching something like at the end of the night, that has nothing to do with your life. Like their problems. It's nice seeing someone with problems. It's not my problems. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't want to be reminded about mine, but I like to be reminded other people have problems too.
Yes, absolutely. It's so funny. Okay, my second hot take is, okay, with my mom, this is like our Christmas where we kind of spend it together at some point, not on Christmas because she works on Christmas. And we've always done that because she used to be a nurse. And so we were watching Christmas Vacation. And I swear to God, every freaking person loves Christmas Vacation, such fond memories. It's an iconic Christmas movie. I think it is the most stressful movie I have ever seen because something is going wrong constantly. He gets in the middle, almost gets in a car crash. His sled, he gets locked in the attic. Like all these things happen. And then a cat, don't even let me I'm not going to talk about the cat. And I hate watching it. And I have to watch it every year with my family because somebody wants to watch it. And I tell them, one, they fall asleep and I can't. Like I can't fall asleep because I'm watching this guy's life unfold. And I'm just saying, that's my hot take is Christmas Vacation is dumb. I don't like it. I'd rather watch The Grinch.
That's a great take. Great take. I realized I forgot my second. It went me, you. So I'm going to quickly hit with my last hot take because I went on a ramble. Because I have to vent about this and only you would understand.
Okay.
I'm sick of people telling me I'm the strong one. Now let me point to an example. Where like all the girls are hanging out and we have to pick up something. Keltie, you lift it. You're the strong one. Or like, Keltie, can you open this? And it's always like, oh, Keltie, she'll lift it. She'll do this. I'm not strong. Now there's nothing wrong with being strong. But like, then I go into the fitness world and I'm getting trolled the entire time. Like, this girl doesn't even squat. Like, I'm just a very multi-dimensional fitness person. I do a bit of cardio. I do a bit of weights. I do a bit of Pilates. I do a bit of stretching. I like even keel. But as soon as you're like a fitness girl, people instantly are like, oh, she must be just like super strong. And I'm like, why am I always the one expected to lift these things? Do you know what I mean? Like whatever, it's like Keltie fit must be. And then I go and lift something and I get looks and they're like, oh, here, I'll help you. I'm like, I never said I was the strong one. And I'm sick of this being put on me. And so, yeah, just because she's a fit girl, don't make her lift everything. Like, don't always put that on the fit girl because she might not be a lifter. You know what I mean?
That is fair.
So
also,
nothing wrong with
free
being strong,
manual
girl.
labor. Maybe you don't want to do it.
Exactly. I was like, why is this always on me? And then I do it, and then people are like, oh, I thought she was into fitness. I'm like, I never said I was strong. Nothing. Yeah. It's good being strong. I'm not saying it's a bad feature. I'm just saying I never identified as the strong one of the group. And why am I always pinned as the strong one of the group? So that's fair. I had to vent about that.
No, that is totally fair. I think that's very relatable to a lot of fitness girl, especially too, if you're like at a gym and they want you to work out with them and they like want you to like hit these crazy PRs or like squat crazy. Yeah. Where's your lifting belt? And I'm like, bro, I don't do that. I'm like longevity. Like I'm not trying to fuck up my joints right now.
I was like, I haven't touched a barbell in like 3 years and I can't be bothered. The thought of setting it up, I'm like, oh, I'll just grab a dumbbell, kettlebell and be on with my day. People are like, oh.
Do you get it with running? Like people will be like, oh, I can't run with you. You're so fast. I'm like, bro, I'm really actually quite opposite. You'll beat me. I may run a lot, but it doesn't mean I'm good at it.
See, that's where I'm the opposite. See, someone like, you're fast. I'm like, goddamn, I'm fast. That's my whole thing. Yeah. That's where I'm like, yeah, like that was my whole thing in like sports and all that. So like, I don't, endurance wise, I'm getting better, but like speed, anyone's like fast, I'm like, race me now, I'll win. That's why, like, if you had to like do your hierarchy of athletic abilities, 1 would be fast, 2nd would be vertical. I don't know what 3 swimming. Like, actually, number 1 might be throwing a ball, but yeah, I'm very fast.
Let's race.
Fast.
Bring it on. I will sub Millie for me.
Okay, there.
Last minute.
That's unfair.
Last minute, you're not looking. Millie's just beside you. You're like,
oh yeah,
God damn it.
Because I won't be able to tell it's Millie and not you.
Millie is one. We made this joke on TikTok. Yeah. I did gym girls, she did running girls. And hers is like, I'm gonna complain to you that like my slowest mile was 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah. And like that snitch does that. She will complain to me. I had a bad run. And I'm like, I hate you. That's my sprint. Like I get anxiety to run with her. I can't do it.
I don't blame you. She's fast.
So I would like to see you guys when you come to Puerto Rico. Let's have a race for you.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but don't ask me to lift.
Okay. Should we get into our headlines? Well, we're hot mess.
Yes, we should. We are. You know what? We're all hot messes right now. You're feeling it. It's Q4 for our corporate girlies, holiday season. No one has time off. We're all in mayhem together. So let's just embrace the season that it is.
I agree.
So I'm going to start off with the first headline, and I had to put it in here simply for you. Taylor Swift won Times Person of the Year. Can we get a little round? Boo, boo, boo.
Woo! I'm like, if I could slow clap, I would definitely do it.
Snap,
okay.
Snap.
I don't know who Times Person of the Year really is, in the sense of like, I don't keep up with it.
Yeah.
But the fact I got new photos of Taylor Swift without her bangs, I will take as a win. And I reposted when she posted it because she had this gorgeous photo with her cat over her shoulders. And she was like, her meme of her caption was like, hey, Taylor, you got person of the, and then it like stops and she interrupts him and says, can I bring my cat? And she did a photo shoot with her cat. And it's iconic. I would do that with Bentley, so I respect it.
She's amazing. And for us girlies who don't know what Time Person of the Year is, lack of better terms, it's just like the most influential person. That doesn't mean positive. Like, I hate to say it.
Really?
Like Putin's one, Hitler's one. Like, but then at the same, I know, but at the same time, Barack Obama's one. What's Greta Thunberg when she
it's just like
first
the talk
came
of
out?
The town for that year, right?
It's exactly who was the most
talk of the world,
made the biggest impact to the world of the year. And the fact, like, I looked at every Times Person. She's the only artist to have ever won this. Like, everyone else is a political leader or like people who are big movements. Like, this is not even just for like taste, like for just artists, for women. Like, this is, it just shows how powerful she is. Like, what was it? Sweden's GDP went up by 10% when she was there, or was that Beyonce? I can't remember. But either way, like, just like the artists of that level, like the influence they have, like she can make the NFL change their logo. Like, she's that level of, like, it's just, it's crazy. So as much as people are like, oh, no, for Taylor Swift, I was like, she beat Sam Altman, the guy ChatGPT. She beat Putin. She beat Zelensky. But they've won in the past, but still, she beat
fabulous. I was working out today. I was doing 30 minutes on the Stairmaster at like level 15. And I was listening to Reputation on Netflix, her like entire concert. It was iconic. I would do 15 like at the bridges because I can't sustain that. But I just love her. I'm obsessed, like inundated in my whole life.
Yeah. And that's why next time some guy comes up and is like, oh, enough about Taylor Swift, be like, you want to come, like, just drop those lines. I'm like, she influences more than anyone else on this planet right now. So move aside.
You're just jealous. Boys. That's what I say every time. Exactly. Before you get into your next headline, I have a question that I was like shook you didn't include. Have you been watching the Squid Games on Netflix?
I can't be bothered, but I've been keeping up with the drama a little bit. But something about me, I'm like, I hate to say it, like, I want Squid Games to, I loved what the movie or the actual show. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave that in my mind.
Oh, no, you need to watch it because it's a reality TV show. So the people are freaking hilarious because they say absurd things.
I've seen a lot of clips, so.
I would like to know how many of you ladies typed in like the Netflix Squid Games casting at the end and entered, because I did. Something about me is I will enter. I enter all the time for Survivor. I enter for Amazing Race. I'm that bitch that enters.
You know what? I respect it.
You need to watch it so you can understand it with me.
Well, I know, like, I've seen like enough clips, so like I know kind of the games and all that kind of stuff. That's why it's also like one of those things. I'm at that point. I'm like, I've seen so many clips. Yeah. Do I really want to watch it? Like,
here's where I think it was problematic. Was people were too freaking sensitive in the Squid Games of being like, let me play fair, let me do it right. And so they would be like, I'll nominate myself. Everybody has to nominate themselves. Like, then you take a chance and you're not playing dirty. I'm like, bitch, this show went famous because people died and they were cutthroat and they stabbed. The person that won, I was like, you played it right. Honestly, I would be somebody that would play it dirty because I'm like, that's the entire point is a reality TV show. Give me something. I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's a hot take, but they were so like, oh, I gotta have integrity with it. I'm like, the entire point. Nobody wants to see that. I want to see you secretly lie and say you didn't vote them out and you did.
here's my hot take. And once again, I haven't fully seen it, so this could be very incorrect. So, but hear me out as someone who's only seen clips. I saw so many clips of people being like, not fair working conditions, and it was so harsh and all this. I'm like, you went on Squid Games. The alternative was death. Like, you think they were going to make it luxurious? Like, they had to take you to the point that it was like, we can't kill you, but we got to get really darn close. Like, you signed up for Squid Games and you expected it to be nice? Like, if I was there, I'm like, if I signed up, I'm like, this is Navy SEALs training. I'm going to be this close to death for $5 million or whatever the price is. So like, I just, people who complain about that when they signed up for Squid Games, I'm like, the fact you didn't die, be thankful.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But
also,
that's my hot take.
There was this guy that represented Spokane, Washington, where like it's a small town. Michael and I's family's from Spokane. And his storyline, like the things these people were like revealing in their one-on-ones, I'm like, I would never in a million years admit this on TV. Like, you got to know you're on TV. Yeah. And they're like sharing these like really bad parts about themselves. Also some really admirable parts. There's some great characters that are really respectful. I loved the son mother duo. But like this guy that's from Spokane gives the rep of like, he's like, I'm a mama's boy. I cry. And it's like, the whole time he's trying not to vomit because he's so stressed out. And I just was like, I wanted to hug him because I'm like, how is that your storyline? Yeah. How? I wouldn't even say I'm a mama's boy. I'd be like, no, I wouldn't even acknowledge it because I'd be like, this is going on television.
See, that makes me want to watch it now. The confessions.
Watch it.
Now I'll watch it. But like the things, I'm like, I've seen these challenges and people died. Like that, you can't make it more exciting than that.
No, Michael said he hated the show. He was like, they didn't die. I don't want to watch it. I'm like, you are cutthroat, sir.
Okay, I'll see it and then I'll report back. Here's it. If I liked it, I'll sign up. If I don't, I won't sign up.
Okay, well, you'll meet me there. Let's go halvesies.
Perfect. Shake, we'll form an alliance.
Yeah. Well, actually, we don't know each other.
100%. And then just be like, no. And then we'll act like we're mortal enemies. We'll have a whole thing like, I'm out to get you. And the whole time people will pin people on opposite sides of each other. So they're all going head to head and we're head to head. And they slowly pick each other off until it's just us two at the end. And then we shake hands 50-50.
Yes, fair. And that will be reality TV for you. Yeah. You're welcome.
No one share this. No. This episode will get deleted if we get on.
Yeah. This will go nowhere.
Perfect. Well, the complete opposite to Squid Games, our next headline just caught my eye and I was like, Dakota Johnson says she sleeps 14 hours a day. So I read the article. Specifically, she can't function without 10. She'll go upwards of 14. So this girl, 10 to 14 hours a day. I don't think that's healthy.
So what time do you think she goes to bed?
Ooh, yeah. Do you think she's sleeping in late or do you think she's going to bed early?
Yeah. Did she say she just like her body literally just sleeps? She's just a snoozer?
50 Shades Grey star, 34, shared an interview with the Wall Street Journal published Monday that she's not functional if she gets less than 10 hours of sleep and can easily go 14 hours in one night. So I think she sleeps 10 hours, but she has to put an alarm. Otherwise, she'll sleep 14.
There are just some people, their bodies, like, I don't know. Michael's that way. He needs a lot of sleep. Like, and he will sleep forever he's really regimented where like he'll get up at 5. But like, if he doesn't, he will sleep. And like the minute I put us to bed, like his head hits a pillow, the guy's out. It's the weirdest thing ever. He'll fall asleep whether it's 7, 8, 9, but like he'll be out and he won't wake up. So I just think there may be some people that like, because it's so weird. I'll literally like move his hands. I'll move his arms. He's out. It's like something he was like, maybe I should see a doctor about this because his sister's the same way.
There's I'm that like, it takes me 1 minute. My head's down. I'm asleep. But I can't sleep. I physically can't sleep more than 7.5. I've slept more than 8 hours 3 times in the last like 6 years. It just, and I wake up fully rested at 7. Like I'm like, good to go. Let's take on like, so no one's been like
at midnight and you wake up at 7?
No, I go to bed I lay in bed at 10 and I wake up at 5.
Oh, okay.
Or 4:30. So yeah.
4:30.
It's freaking
crazy.
You go to school and have a full-time job. I was like, what are we sacrificing? Unfortunately, sleep's not been my best habit lately. Don't recommend sleep, people.
That's funny.
You know,
That is
no
interesting,
faults.
though. Good to know. I loved him. I only really know her from 50 Shades and how there were like a ton of interviews about her family watching her sex scenes.
I always thought that, like, your parents, they want to, go to the,
like, that's my baby girl.
Yeah. Right? It's just like, what kind of parents are you? The one like, yeah, Dakota, or close my eyes. Like, what kind of parent are you?
Yeah.
That's
Are you Amy Poehler in Mean Girls?
Oh, yes.
Or are you, I don't know anyone else.
Just the opposite.
Kim in Gilmore Girls.
I've never watched Gilmore Girls.
I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls at this moment. It's really peaceful in my life right now.
I was like, I feel that's a good holiday choice. Like saying like that, a comfort show.
It's so comforting. All right, what's our third one?
Now, BBC Science had this headline: 9 simple science-based changes that can reverse your biological age. So this is kind of the wrap up. I think this year was big on the anti-aging, reversing, longevity, that kind of thing. So they did like a summary of them. So I'm going to list them off, and I think we say the ones we like and the ones that we're just going to kind of ignore. Number 1, maintain muscle. Hot. Hit it.
Hot. Hit it. All day, every day. There's no debate.
Oh, yeah. I think that's such a hack. There's so many, like, just girls lift. Well, maintain your muscle.
Ladies, I was just talking to my mother about this. So my mom, 61, looks fantastic, okay? And she still lifts, runs, stays really active. She's really passionate about this. So Mom, she's one of our listeners. She'll be listening to this. But she was talking about how some of her friends will be like, oh, I'm too old for stairs. I need to downsize to a 1-story because I can't do stairs. Where she's like, no, that's the opposite. You should do the stairs because then you're keeping that muscle, you're keeping movement, like the resistance of it, So don't let just because your age, you're like, I can't do this. Even I was playing pickleball with my dad and his friends. One of his friends, I was just telling my mom this, was 72 years old and she was whipping everyone's butt in pickleball. And I'm like, all I gotta say.
All I gotta say, mind or body, use it or lose it. It's that simple. That's like, just keep doing it. And then that's how you keep it. Number 2, ignore fad diets. I feel that's, ignore, like, hit it.
So are we saying hot or not?
Hit it or quit it. So hot
hit
or
it.
not.
Ignore it. Hit the fad.
Ignore
it. Yeah. Don't hit the fad diets.
No, what that's a confusing. That's one of those like double things. Are you yes or no? Either way, no fad diets.
No.
3, this is something I've recently adopted very hardly the last 2 years, but brush your teeth. Oh my God, the pain I went through.
Not brushing your teeth before?
I was, but remember how I had all those like dental things? Like I brushed my teeth, but that was kind of it. Like I was just like, oh yeah, I brushed my teeth. Good. No, I floss and water pick, scrape my tongue. Like now I'm crazy after all that. So no one wants dentures.
No, absolutely not. Completely agree. Yeah. My sister-in-law, she wouldn't even let me not. She's a dental hygienist.
Oh, that's nice to have one of those in the family. None in mine.
Lots
4,
of lectures.
Get enough sleep, but not too much sleep. So this even said you can get too much, and they recommend 7 to 8.
Hit it.
Love it. But also don't stress. I feel like that's such a thing. People stress they don't have enough sleep, and because they're stressed, they don't get sleep. So like goal to get enough, but don't stress yourself out.
Also, I think we tend, a lot of us will scroll on social media where it's like, I think part of self-care is like picking up on if you're scrolling and like you'd spend mindlessly an hour or whatever doing it and just going to bed.
I have the best hack, but I'm going to tell you in the next, our first episode, January, our back, I got a really good hack if you scroll into your thing. So you know what? I'm going to make you guys all hit follow. Come back. I got a good one. It's like a mind-blowing one, but that's for another episode.
Wow, I apologize, you guys, for that troll right there. But yeah.
That's called being a YouTuber. I'm going to hook you in and make you come back later.
I fell into one of your hooks, you little snitch.
Did I? Yes. What
was it? Was the one that was like, a brand dropped me because I removed my boobs.
Oh, did I tell you about what happened with that?
No, because I was watching it and you never said jack shit.
Okay, well, it is at the end of the episode. I do talk about it. So you didn't
went back
watch
twice.
It all. At the very
No,
end.
I
did a whole Q&A. It's like a 2-minute segment. But anyways.
I'm going to go third time. Third time's a charm. And like, we're good friends. So that's where I'm like, I mean, I kind of know, but I was like, what did she reveal? That's what I wanted to know.
Well, what happened? And this is like, oh my God, the most stress. Actually, I should explain this on the podcast because it's kind of hard to communicate what happened. So I upload videos and I schedule them. So they're scheduled a couple days, 8 a.m. Saturday. I've done that every day for 3 years. Like I don't miss it. No questions.
Oh, I know.
Done. I will do anything to get it happen. Now, when you export a video, you have a random title. Like I think about my title for a couple days. And then, so whatever the file is, so I just that was one of the questions in the Q&A. And I was like, kind of be signed. So I just had this rough thing. I didn't even have a thumbnail. I roll into the office Wednesday at 9 a.m. My video suddenly has 3,000 views. I was like, wait, what? And I looked, it randomly posted. I have no idea what happened. I don't know. And I'm so anal. Like every day I will double check. It's scheduled for Saturday. And I quadruple checked. And I'm convinced YouTube was just like, let's just see what happens. Just post it. No thumbnail, no title, no caption. And the funny thing is, it's been my best performing video in months. So I couldn't take it down. It had like a brand in it because you take it down and people have already seen it. So I was just like, at this point, and it looks like I'm calling out Smart Suites because like YouTube will just pick a random second from the video as the thumbnail if you don't put one. Random, I'm holding Smart Suites. So it looks like I'm calling out Smart Suites for taking out my boobs. And it's so comical at that point that I'm just like, you know what? F it. Sure. Let's just go with it. People think it's funny. Smart, like it's yeah.
So did you keep the thumbnail?
Yeah, I didn't change it. I was like, people are loving the video. There's like 2 comments being like, this is odd clickbait. I'm like, it's not. This is just literally, it's like, I didn't even think about this. It's just YouTube took it and posted it. So yeah, I had a completely like planned out thumbnail, all these ideas. And yeah, that's what happened there.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I love that though. It's like you get so stressed out sometimes about your titles and your thumbnails. And YouTube said, it's not that deep.
Literally, YouTube
watch us do the best.
YouTube was like, we need to give Keltie a break, and like the algorithm somehow knew that random screen grab would do better than anything I could make. So they're like, just post it. she'll be fine. Just go.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what happened. And the question someone asked in the Q&A if a brand dropped me for removing them, and like no brand did, but that was like the question. So like it was supposed to have question mark. Anyways. I'll go on.
Oh, interesting.
That's what happened.
I know something separately then.
I did address
Just kidding,
what you're thinking of. I did address I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
I did talk about certain brands that I'm no longer. I did like mention brands I was working with at the time that I haven't worked with since. And I just said it's not that deep. But it is ironic timing. But no.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. I mean, I always watch your videos. I am a supporter of my friends. I am the biggest fangirl for all of you guys. Yeah. But that one, I was like, God damn it, where is this question?
I know, I made you guys all wait till the end, but once again, YouTube did, not me.
Yeah,
YouTube.
Fair. Good thing that you didn't I don't know, at least you put a temporary title and things like that.
True.
What if it just was like, episode, blah, or like whatever you had it listed for?
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. On to the next.
I can't remember which number we're on. Get enough sleep. Oh, number 5. Always wear sunscreen. And yes. And here's an example of why we should all wear full body sunscreen. I was watching Paris in Love, decided to watch it. And she thanks her mom because Paris looks unbelievable. Obviously, she probably gets every facial and skincare under the sun done. But she's like in her 40s and looks 12 still. Like her skin's perfect.
Botox.
Yeah. And she said, she goes to her mom. She's like, I just want to thank you for telling me to always stay out of the sun. And in that moment, I'm like, if that's what it takes.
So she never was like sunbathed?
I think she just like avoided the sun, wore like sunscreen, covered up whenever she's going outside. And she looks 20 and she's 45 or however old she is.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. The only thing is like get good sunscreen. Because if you're putting something on your body every single day, your skin's your biggest organ. Just like look into it.
Necessaires. Mineral sunscreen. Chef kiss.
You'd have something.
I know. I already did that research 3 steps ahead of you.
Have something for the ladies. I watched the Paris Hilton Call Her Daddy episode. Did you?
I haven't yet. It's saved. I've had no time, but it's saved for my plane ride to Sweden. So
Hell
I
yeah.
will be. I will be.
Okay. Love it.
Number 6, hot. Like topic. Wear sunglasses year round. Because Andrew Huberman's out here being like, get sunlight. And then they're being like, it could do damage. So where is there a possibility that we get too much sun in our eyes?
I mean, I do believe that for sure. But I definitely don't wear sunglasses all year round. I'll wear a baseball cap usually.
I know.
I live in the sun. I hate sunglasses. I feel like it distorts my reality. I just don't like it.
I love it, but I wish there was a sunglass that looked like I was wearing sunglasses, but I still got to see the sun. Do you know what I mean? Like I like the incognito mode. People can't see my face, but I want to see the sun. So someone invent that for me.
Okay.
Number 7, prepare for future super drugs. And like,
what does that mean?
They're just kind of saying like future drugs and those longevity things are coming. But I've always kind of thought about this, like how far away are we from living for forever? Like, do I just have to hold on for 20 more years, or would I have to hold on for like 100 years? You know what I mean? Like, do we just have, I've always wondered that.
Did we not make the cut?
I think we're in that, like, could happen next. Like if it happens in like 20 years, I think we're good. And potentially our parents are. But like Elon or someone, Bezos, get on this. Get on it. My mom needs to take this.
Yeah, I agree. I do think about that. What's the next one?
Don't waste your savings. Like, boring.
Like save your savings?
Yeah. So I was like, I guess I didn't look too much into that one because I just chose to ignore it. I'm like,
you know, we should always have some savings. But I do believe in investing. And also, what if you die?
Yeah.
I mean, think of those people. I know some relatives that like are the most frugalsons. And they have a bunch of money. And in my head, I think, you're going to die and you're not going to enjoy that money. You could have just bought that nice coffee machine. You could have taken that trip. So I think it depends on what brings you joy.
I think about it every single day. I think, you know what? You should save for your future self. Your future self will be thankful. You want to feel financially secure. And then also I'm like, I could die tomorrow. Can't bring money to the grave. And I think about it every day.
I agree.
And last one, wash your hands. I mean,
do people not wash? Okay, you know what I discovered recently? Men do not really wash their hands when they go to the bathroom. And I think that's disgusting. It's like less than like 50% of the time. And I talked to men about this. I don't remember where I was, but we got in this heated debate and I literally called him out and was like, that is the grossest thing I've ever heard. They're like, well, I don't touch anything. I'm like, you touch your ween and then you go and I don't know what you're doing, typing on a keyboard, grabbing a chip from a bag. I don't want your ween. Yeah. So that's pretty darn gross.
Hot take. Honestly, and I do always wash my hands, but technically, girls, we always have paper between our hands and whatever we're doing.
Cleaner.
So technically, I bet you we could do it without getting any germs. But it's like I haven't washed my hands in a couple hours, and I have to touch things dirty men touched. So I should wash my hands. So I think we don't even wash our hands for what we do. We have to wash our hands after because we know the men before us didn't wash their hands. So
blame the men
for what's the patriarchy.
I truly, maybe that's a hot take and I'm sure there's some men that are very clean. I know some friends that are, but I recently, I was chatting with this one guy and I literally shamed the shit out of him because I said, that's actually super disrespectful to people around you because you don't mind touching your wiener, but others don't want to touch it.
Exactly.
That's gross. Wash your hand.
Consent.
And you're also touching doorknobs and think of when you touch the gas station that's like dirtier than a toilet. Like, ew, I'm too much of a germaphobe. I'm always washing my hands. I wash my hands when I wake up.
And now you know. Don't even do it for the germs. Do it so you can live forever. Live long enough to get to the super drug. There's why we should wash our hands. With that, shall we end off with a confession session from each of us that you guys submitted in the holiday spirit? Some holiday themed.
I will take it away. Yeah?
I said hit it.
Oh, okay. This is one. Last Christmas Eve, I went to my boyfriend's house and ended up being extremely ill. I ended up throwing up in the Christmas gift bag on the drive home. No, that's horrible.
She will not be re-gifting that one. So that Christmas bag is rip. You know, honestly though, imagine if you didn't have that gift bag. That is the best present right there.
Hopefully she took out the gift.
Hopefully
maybe it was impulse. Didn't even think about it.
Or imagine if it was one of those gifts that you're like, oh, I don't really want this, but like I can't throw it out. And like maybe it was one of those. Instant solution. Be like, oh, sorry, I threw up on it.
Threw up.
Oh, I would have used that candle, I swear. But you know what I mean? Or some weird product, some MLM. Could have been something like that.
Not the MLM product.
It's always the MLM.
It's always the MLMs. Like, yay.
And then to finish off, one last confession session. My grandma on New Year's Eve had a bit too much wine and accidentally FaceTimed someone on her iPad she hadn't talked to in years. Instead of canceling the call, she decided to just toss the iPad on the table while the call and just kept going. She raised her hand, yelled, "I didn't do it." The person on the other side answered the call, very surprised, and was faced with our apartment ceiling as my grandma kept convincing herself it wasn't her fault. It was. And I reluctantly forced to join the call she made. My mom and I refused to help her, and we're on the ground dying of laughter. So just this poor grandma is like calling some random person. This random person's on it at the Christmas table. Is like all these people are yelling, and the grandma's like, "This wasn't me. This wasn't me." And they're like, "Oh, it's on you. You got to fix this." And this poor person's just invading the Christmas, or was it New Year's? New Year's. I'm like, that's amazing.
I love that. They're thinking, yeah. What if it was like an ex-lover?
Oh,
that's so good.
What? She had a affair.
Oh, that's horrible.
But imagine if something like that.
Yeah,
grandmas get down.
Oh no! But I was like, that'd be heartbreaking.
True, that would be.
That's funny. Lately, my phone has been doing this thing where I'll go to use Siri, and then like it'll accidentally call a random number that I haven't talked to in years. Like this one guy that I worked with, like literally 6 years ago. It called him. It called someone else, and I recently, like, I just ignored that one. I mean, we were just friends. It wasn't anything weird, but it happened to another time, and I literally texted him being like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," because it was ringing. So I've been having this issue, and my mom was like, "Oh, I delete my numbers," and I was like, "Oh, I haven't ever deleted my phone numbers," and I think I should because my phone it's been calling every single person. What if it calls my ex-boyfriend from high school? How awkward.
My mind just went, if there's someone right now that your phone accidentally called and your heart would say, delete the number, like save it, like screenshot it, put it in a notes or something so you have it. If you theoretically need it. You never know. Like if it's like one of those ones you're like, holding on to, but the fear it could accidentally call, go delete that number from your contacts right now.
Not going to do it.
I know. I delete numbers.
Too lazy.
So I delete them. Because nothing better than someone if it's someone who like, you don't actually care about anymore. Like, there's nothing harder than them texting you and then be like, "Sorry, who is this?"
That's such a good point. I mean? Maybe you'll inspire me to like delete the numbers.
If you got that ex guy that is just like, you're like holding on, but like whatever. There's nothing more powerful than sorry, I don't have this number. So delete it.
True. I don't think I've ever. The only time my numbers have been deleted was when when your phone would transfer over back in the early 2000s and then you just lose all your contacts. They claim it won't. Always happened.
Always.
That's the only time. So I probably have like contacts from like 8th grade. Whenever the cloud became a thing.
Yeah, the cloud.
The cloud can't find it. Well, that being said, thank you for tuning in to today's podcast and chatting with us. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us, leave a review. We love reading your written ones if you want to do that. Check out our Instagram, Hitting the Bars Podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.